Let's talk about Bright by Ali Hazelwood. It was our tiny book club book for the last 4 weeks, and I really enjoyed reading this book. It was my first real Omegaverse book, and I had no experience with that in book format so far. The only Omegaverse I knew before that was Teen Wolf. So let's dive into it. Be aware this video contains spoilers for the story. So if you haven't read this and you don't want spoilers, don't watch the video. But if you want to talk it and discuss the story, be welcome to comment and tell me what you think about the story. I really enjoyed reading Misery's and Lo's story. We have vampire meets werewolf, we have fake dating and forced marriage. And I think Ali Hazelwood handled this topic in a really good way. So she wrote a story with the humor we know from her STEM romances, and it really made me smile a lot throughout reading. But it also had a lot of depth in the characters and character development, which I really liked, because I enjoy this mix of humor and depth, of light-hearted moments and moments that hurt and really reach the heart. And Misery and Low really reached both for me. They are both completely different species, and there are 3 species in the world: human, werewolf and vampires, and they all hate each other and kill each other, and war is never far from reach. So this marriage between Lo, the alpha of a werewolf pack, and Misery, the daughter of the vampire leader, should be a truce between the species so that they can live in peace. And we learn a lot about the werewolves together with Misery, because she moves to Lo, to his werewolf pack, and we deal a lot with prejudices on both sides, because every species lives for itself and they don't know much about other species. So this is really a time to learn about the other species, and I really liked that. And I really liked Anna, Lo's little sister. She brought so much heart into the story and really made me smile every time she appears. And it was also very clear to me from the start that Misery and Lo are mates. Even if he lets her think otherwise, she thinks she is more the opposite to him, more enemy than everything else. So every time he enters the room she's into, his nostrils flared and he made a face, so she thinks she really smells to him. But it is the opposite. He's totally attracted to her smell. And I really liked scenes where Misery made jokes about Lo and his ability to use computers and phones, like typing Google into the Google search to Google something. I really enjoyed this humor, especially as I'm working in IT, but we never lose the focus of the story. Besides the romantic part, we also always focus on the main plot, which is the conflict between the species and some groups of the werewolves that aren't really okay with how Lo handled the situation. So there are a lot of intrigues, there are attempted murders, attempted kidnapping, and not attempted kidnapping. So the story was full of action, very intriguing, and I really enjoyed reading this book. The only part that I didn't enjoy so much was the knotting topic. It was the first book that I've read with this topic, but I knew beforehand that this was in it and what it was. But I don't know why it felt strange, and I can't even say if it is because of the knotting itself or because of how Ali Hazelwood wrote it, because, as I said, my only experience with this so far. But what I know is that Ali Hazelwood revealed cover and synopsis for book 2 Made, and that book 2 will be published in July, and that I will read that because I'm really curious about the characters there, Paris and Cohen, I think that is how his name is pronounced, and what this romance will bring us. But back to this story, I was really surprised by the whole reveal in the end, the plot twist that Misery's father kidnapped her best friend, that he intrigued, that he kidnapped a werewolf kid to blackmail the father to help him with his plans, and that he was ready to sacrifice his daughter and to kill her to reach his goals. I really hated him so much that I had thoughts that he is similar to Lionel R. Crooks, if you know him. Lionel R. Crooks is from the Zodiac Academy series and one of my most hated characters, or maybe the most hated character that I've ever read. I have finished book 6 of Zodiac Academy so far, so I have a few books left in the series. But I wanted to let you know that this father is the same category: narcissistic, assholes, and psychotic. So I'm really glad that they handled the situation and that Misery's brother is now leader of the vampires. And as I said, I'm really happy that there will be a second book in the series, and I will definitely read that. But before I do that, we continue our little book club here with a totally different book. The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. After I've read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, I really wanted to read her other books. This is the next one. I totally don't know what it is about. I know it is literary fiction, and that is all. I already parted the book, so I can tell you now we will read it over the next 9 weeks. So we read 50 to 80 pages each week. I didn't want to read more because these pages are full of text. And I think this book will be a little bit more heavy than bright. But I really hope you will join me here so we can discuss it in the end. And as I said before, please tell me in the comments what you think of Bright. I really like to discuss the book with you. Like the video if you wanna, follow my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!